The Kingdom of Saudi Arabia has earned the right to host the 2034 World Cup final. Speaking on rights, they've got none. But there's one important right that Steve Clarke cares about. Nae drink in Saudi Arabia. So good news for us. We're no going.
License to get pissed, and there's no license to drink in Saudi Arabia. So Steve Clarke will probably do what he does best and make Scotland lose. This time, though, it will be on purpose.
Absolutely. Now, we'll dive into it, but let's go back 4 years. 2030, Portugal, Morocco, Spain also announced as joint hosts for that tournament. Thoughts on that before we go to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia?
Honestly, man, I would have just left it at Spain and Portugal. I think Spain and Portugal are two countries that are definitely capable of hosting the World Cup on their own.
You can argue just left it at Spain, yeah.
But, I mean, because of the geographic sense and stuff, and I think if they want to host it between them, that is absolutely fine. But then you add Morocco into the mix, and I mean, I personally wouldn't be going there. And I believe there's also games from free clubs and free countries in South America as well. I think Argentina, Colombia, and I want to say Uruguay are also hosting a game.
Argentina, Paraguay, and Uruguay.
Well, I was close. I got two of the three.
Didn't know that. That's pretty mental. But again, what if you know your world map, right, and you're not a flat earther, even though it wouldn't really change it. You know, Morocco's right below those two, and those three are pretty much directly left, I guess.
Yeah,
so.
but I mean, you can travel on land from Portugal to Spain. I mean, they border each other.
Yeah, but
to get to Morocco, you had to take a plane or a boat.
Why was Belfast and Dublin included then in the UK and Ireland?
Slightly different. It's the same. Oh, come on!
You got a plane or a boat. You got a plane or a boat.
No, Morocco's a different continent. What are you talking about?
Aye, but it's close.
I don't give a shit.
I think you're underestimating how close Africa and Spain are. By the way, we're talking about 40 miles.
I think it's obvious how close they are, but
yeah, but
France. Anyway, point is, I mean, come on, it's a different continent altogether. To me, I don't like that. That means the World Cup's going to be held across 3 different continents. If Morocco wants to host the World Cup, why didn't they host it with some other team close to them? Or country?
Well, they'll argue they are close to them. You know what I mean?
I don't like it, man.
Right, is what it is. Let's move on to Saudi Arabia because, yeah, that's what we're here to talk about.
Sports washing.
You know, the Asian Football Confederation President Sheikh Salman bin Abraham Al Khalifa and Saudi Arabia's Minister of Sports and Youth Abdullah bin Turki Al Fazal celebrate the announcement. So that's a lot of long names in there. Now, Saudi Arabia's been sports washing for a few years, most notably with boxing. Obviously, F1's in there as well.
And you know what? I actually despise the atmosphere you get in the boxing now. The boxing events absolutely suck. I'll give Saudi Arabia credit that they pay the money to get the big fight cards on, right? Not denying that. But see the atmosphere, man. Like the people are in the arenas, they're not drinking. I mean, the women are sitting there probably afraid to even breathe. I think it's took boxing backwards in my eyes.
No, it has took boxing backwards, and I think you're right. Like with F1, it's one race out of a 20 race season. It's not.
I mean, you got that heat, and then you've got women having to cover in blankets not to show a bit of skin.
Yep. Yeah, and obviously with boxing, you feel like any big here is the Usyk Fury rematch in Saudi.
Yes, and I'm not saying you need to get pissed to enjoy an event. I'm not saying that, but I mean,
but the option to get pissed would be nice.
Yeah, or you should at least be able to go and have a few beers.
Aye, yeah, not everyone needs pissed.
And then also you've got the whole like homophobic stuff, and I mean they say, listen, I don't care. These Saudi Arabia headmen, they can come out and say everybody's welcome here, but I mean, if you're a gay man, you're not going to feel comfortable, are you?
No.
Out in the streets of Saudi Arabia?
No.
You wouldn't feel comfortable as a straight man in case you did something to offend somebody.
Hey, literally. I mean, I seen the other day that somebody put a negative review up on Google. Now, it was in Dubai, but similar territory, and he's been detained till he gets his court hearing in February. Like, that's a fucking joke, man.
Months? That's months.
Aye, that's months. Missing Christmas. They put up a negative review.
And it's all,
Could you imagine if a gay man put up a negative review of whatever in Saudi Arabia and they found out he was gay, well, they had him detained, and he'd be seen again? know what I mean?
You know, isn't the feed for Still Game once said it's, you know, let and let live.
Exactly, isn't the feed said. But I tell you what, right? You've got all these guys. You remember the Qatar World Cup? You had Gary Neville though, and Gary Lineker. They were calling it out. Well, fucking hoovering the money.
They went there.
They were hoovering the money. Same with Lewis Hamilton, greeting about it. You know what, right? See if it's that fucking bad. Why not boycott it? I'd fucking respect it.
That's it. I announce on behalf of Scotland, we're boycotting it. We will not be going.
Yeah. We'll not even be talking about it.
Well, just give us automatic qualification for the next one.
Aye, that's it. Just give us automatic.
That's it, settled.
Give us automatic.
Nah, but for me, man, I'm just not a big fan. I just don't think people go to these events now, and I don't feel like they're comfortable. I don't feel like they can enjoy themselves. You see the boxing, and it's literally like it's a morgue. It's like, and then you look at all the front rows, and it's all these like, oh, this high mighty guy, or, you know, like sitting there on the front row, and it's like, fuck off. Where's the fans? Oh, here's Sheikh Abdul, and he's sitting in the front row, and then you've just got like massive lines of them, and it's like so what? Why use there?
And their sofas, Dowrawi. There you go. They whip out the sofas.
It's supposed to be for the fans. It's supposed to be for football fans, not for these rich people that are trying to sports wash, and you know, trying to. I just don't like it, man. I'm not saying. I'm not saying that Saudi Arabia can never host a World Cup, but I mean, why can't they? I think you should be starting off small. World Cup's the biggest football sporting event you can get, and I just don't think they should be hosting. I don't think Qatar should be automatic qualification. I mean, all right, maybe Saudi Arabia's a better team than I'll give them that. They're a better team than Qatar, but I mean, it's just not right.
No, it's not right, but they've got it. And
I think to host it, you should have to have some sort of standing in world football.
Obviously, money has been an element here now with Qatar. There was a lot of human rights issues with building stadiums due to Saudi Arabia and the fact they've got leagues and, you know, Ronaldo. I don't need to name everyone that's there, but I don't think building stadiums is going to be a problem, to be honest. But it is what it is. I mean, the Scottish, Welsh and English FAs all backed it. All the bids from Saudi Arabia. I mean, I'm sure there was a wee brown envelope in there and all that good stuff, but it's not a footballing nation, man. It's not. Ain't it not?
Well, apparently Norway's football federation has come out and they're against it. They're not happy that it's happening. Germany, I think they're backing it, but that does not surprise me in the slightest. But for me, I just don't think it should be happening.
It's just not a footballing nation, man. It's like when the World Cup, like the Euros. See when you think of like international tour, you think of the World Cup, the Euros, right, and like. You think of like the Africa Cup of Nations as well. You think of the Copa America, right? Saudi Arabia is just not a footballing nation. Ronaldo can go and try and pretend it is, and other people can go and pretend it is, but it's just not. It's not. It's not a footballing nation. Neither is Qatar, man. They're just not. It's simple. It's sport. You're right. It's just that term sports washing. That's all it is. They don't care about boxing. It's not like there's a Saudi Arabian boxer. They just try and fucking ram it down your throat.
I think they've ruined sports because nowadays they've killed boxing in my eyes because I think that without the fights happening in Saudi, you're not going to get the big massive fights now.
Yeah.
I think the big massive fights are going to be held off for Saudi. The people with name value, the big draws of the sport, they're going to be like, well, why? I mean, look at Fury, right? If that Fury Usyk fight should be happening in the UK, 100 or America. I mean, I get it can't probably happen in Ukraine right now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, if circumstances were better, before this whole thing started, Ukraine and Russia were very close. Maybe it could have happened in Moscow or something like that, but it just shouldn't be happening in
We'll have to go a
Arabia.
while back for that to happen. But,
well, not that long back, like, you know, a decade or something.
No, that's when that whole beef started in Crimea. So maybe a wee bit before then.
A decade and a half.
15 years ago. If you know your stuff. But somewhere in Europe, man. Anywhere. But Saudi Arabia, Qatar, they're just not nations known for it, man. But it's sports as a whole. It is. So you look at F1 there. It finishes every year now in Abu Dhabi. So is Brazil. I mean, they're not traditional. They're just not traditional sporting venues. They're just not.
But look at the Euros, man. Look at the Euros and you see all the fans. They've all got their different sections where they've got the fan zones and they can go out and they can drink and they can have a good time and their parties. You're not going to get that in Saudi Arabia.
No, absolutely not.
people partying in the streets and drinking and having a good time.
No, you can't.
So I don't know, man. To me, it's just. I disagree with it, but it is what it is.
And people be like, well, if you can't live by their rules, then don't go or whatever. Well,
people don't come to the UK and live by our rules, do they? So fuck.
Yeah, but also
Definitely not.
if they can't abide by like the traditional football rules and the fucking basic human rights that everyone deserves to have, then they can go fuck themselves. And that is pretty much where we're going to end this video.
I agree. You should be able to go to a football event and feel safe and feel like you're going to return home.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's. I don't even.
And obviously, right, there's rivalries in football where, things are heated. This is literally the top of a country, man. We're not talking about, the Saudi Arabian ultras here. We're talking about from the government to the bottom.
Aye.
So, is what it is. We're back, surely, maybe in 12 years' time, or 12 years? Only 10 years away. 9. Will it be a Winter World Cup as well? It probably will be.
Yeah, no, it will be.
So, that's another shite thing.
Yep.
Shite. Till then, peace.